Hello and welcome to episode 111 of Third and Wrong. I'm your co-host, Stephen Bullen, and I'm joined as always by Ozzy and Zach. We are super fired up to be joined by 2019 Vanier Cup champion and the 7th overall selection in the 2021 CFL Draft, Peter Nicastro. Peter, thank you for joining us, my friend. And first of all, congratulations being selected 7th overall. Take us through draft night. How was that feeling? Where were you feeling like you're projected to go? And what was it like getting drafted?
Well, thank you guys for having me first off. And yeah, it was an exciting night for sure. I mean, it was, this year was a different draft, didn't know what to expect. Just a lot of different things going on than, most drafts have, been in the past. So, I was expected to either go, earlier or later. It was up in the air. Like I said, it was just a different year. So, I mean, I'm happy that I went to the Argos, fairly early. And yeah, super excited that it, turned out to be a good night.
Awesome. So, as a lot of people know, it's a long journey to get to professional football and, especially in the CFL. So can you take us back to what got you into football and kind of how that journey started?
Oh, just as a kid, like my family's been a big football family. I mean, we've had season tickets with the Stamps for, 30 plus, 40 plus years. So just been a, huge football family. And yeah, started around, I was like 9 years old. So just loved the game since I was young. And yeah, that's how it all started.
Awesome. And so did you start playing at the bantam level? I guess that would have been Pee Wee. And then you progressed into high school. When did the competition start ramping up for you? And when did you start to realize, like, I'm pretty good at this game?
Oh, as a kid, you're always, I was a bigger kid. So, I mean, you can kind of see it. Maybe, you don't realize it as a kid too much because you're just there for, just playing with your buddies and having fun. But I think, fairly early, you can kind of see like there was a little, at least a little bit of size difference. Maybe not the tallest, but, I was, one of the bigger kids. So I kind of noticed, at an early age that, yeah.
That's awesome. And so you get to high school, you're at St. Francis. And I know historically St. Francis has been a pretty dominant football school in the city. I know my uncle played there in the 80s. They won lots of city championships. At least that's what he tells me anyways. I don't know if he's lying to me trying to sound cool. But what was that experience like stepping into the high school level and then, starting getting some college looks from there?
Yeah, I mean, it was I love my time at St. Francis, and there was a little bit of a drought there. I mean, in the 80s and stuff, they would win in a lot, but in there was a time where they weren't winning before my year. So I mean, it was great to be part of, get the winning back at St. Francis. And yeah, it was just a fun process getting looks from college and everything like that on top of winning some championships at St. Francis. So it was definitely very fun, unique time. So I really enjoyed it.
And that's perfect. You got the segue for us right into college there by mentioning getting the looks there. But you're also mentioning the fun you had as a kid. There might be one year where you had the most fun in college when you won the 2019 Vanier Cup. Can you tell us some of the memories about that?
Yeah, I think that was definitely one of the best football memories I've had. I mean, again, like being there's a huge drought in Calgary for I think it was like 24 years without winning a Vanier. I mean, getting there multiple times but never winning it. So, I mean, that whole year was just a special year. I mean, the group of guys we had, every day were, making different memories, different laughs. And it was just, you can tell right off the beginning that it was just a special group of guys. And I'm glad I got to share that moment with all of them.
We really enjoy having you guys on here. Jabari Arthur showed that same excitement and such. It was a great time for sure.
Yeah. Oh, he's a good coach too. He brings a lot of excitement to the team too. So.
We asked Jabari on this, and I want to ask you that semifinal game against the Manitoba Bisons. I mean, you're on the offense. We were talking to Jabari. He's on the sideline coaching, but you're on the offense. That you're in a back and forth shootout game. I mean, what's going through your mind as as that game's unfolding and just seeing how high scoring it ended up being? Like, are you nervous at the time, or are you just dialed in going in play after play?
Oh yeah, I think you just kind of take it one play at a time, one series at a time. And it was a great game. We had the lead for a little bit, then, they came back and, it ended like it did. And it was just, the whole time it was just excitement and, great game on both sides. And, we were lucky enough to come out on top. And yeah, it was just I think it was ranked one of the best games. I was watching some ESPN article or something. They had that was one of the best college games in 2019. So I mean, it's special. It was special to be a part of it for sure.
That's incredible. That's one way to end your college playing career is on top.
Yeah.
And then 2020 happens, COVID happens, and you kind of that throws a wrench in the plans. But can you kind of detail the process of entering the draft, getting ready to make your move into or transition into the CFL, especially throughout the last year and a bit?
Oh yeah, it was definitely a big transition. I mean, we had that option of opting in or out of the draft, and that was a big decision for me and my family. And I mean, we would have loved to have that last, my 4th year season. So I mean, I think it would have been really helpful for everybody. But in the 4th year is a special year, so I mean, it would have been great to have that one big year with the team. And yeah, I thought it was just we were ready to go into the draft, so that's what kind of made that decision go that way.
Can you kind of describe what the process was like? Did your agent help you? Was there any preparation that you needed to do on your part without playing that year, or did you have to talk to any teams or anything like that?
Yeah, so like I started with my agent probably a year ago, and it was a little early to start with an agent, but given the circumstances, we thought it was even more important that just kind of getting your name out there as early as possible. And just kind of getting teams to know you and everything like that, and especially without having a season, it's even more important to get your name out. And yeah, I mean, it was a numbers game too. I mean, a lot of guys opted out of the draft, so I mean, opting in would maximize your stock, I guess. And yeah, at the end of the day, that's what we came up to decide.
Awesome. And with that, did COVID kind of impact any of that preparation, in addition to, like, did your agent kind of say that we're gonna have to do things differently at all?
I mean, a little bit. I mean, we did a lot of extra stuff. We usually go to Toronto and have the interviews with the teams, it was different virtually, but this year he thought we'd just do like a self interview to get things started, just because teams wouldn't get to ask some of the questions that they might have wanted to when they were interviewing us. So we just kind of did like a self interview with that. And the preparation itself, I mean, as you guys know, the gyms were on and off a little bit, and the preparation were kind of up in the air. And we made the most of it. I mean, trying to make it out of a good situation, but it was definitely a weird year. But yeah, he did a good job selling my name out there, so it was good.
Speaking of selling your name and making that progression from college ball to pro ball, when did it become a reality in your college journey, in those years with the Dinos, that like, hey, I'm getting some professional looks? Like, how does that come about? You have agents reaching out first? Is it is it your coaches telling you, hey, teams are calling? What's that process kind of look like? And when do you start to realize, like, hey, professional football can be a reality for me?
I think it's always kind of in the back of your mind, because as a kid it was my dream to play pro, so it's always kind of in that your back of your mind, always hopeful. And when you start getting a little recognition, like Canada West All-Star, you kind of get a little glimpse of that, maybe it's possible to go pro. And then yeah, I mean, I didn't really hear too much coaches telling me they're calling about you or anything like that, but it's just a little recognition that you get, and just trying your best in practice, and coaches recognizing you and stuff, it definitely helps helps you out, and yeah, it just makes you feel like you can make it one day.
That's really cool.
Well, Peter, first of all, I didn't say this last time. Congratulations on being drafted by the Argonauts, man. I'm so excited to watch you there. They're my favorite team, as Steve alluded to earlier. So would you, now that we kind of dived into prior to pro. Let's go into that pro game a bit here, and your thoughts on joining the Argos, and where you see yourself playing on that O-line. We had Shane Richards on here earlier, and he was talking about the development of that team, and you're going to fit right into that youth movement and what they're looking to do there. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I think the Argos are definitely going in the right direction. I mean, they signed a bunch of guys, which is, a lot of good guys, and they're trying to make a push to win a Grey Cup, and I'm just going in there trying to just help the team wherever I can to win that Grey Cup, and whether that be anywhere on the starting or backing up practice roster, I'm just going there to make the team better in any way I can. And I mean, it's a good group of young guys on the O-line, and some older guys too. So I mean, a lot of learning that I can do for sure.
Awesome, Peter. This is kind of an interesting question. When you come from a organization like the Dinos, who produces a lot of talent, and they're moving up to the pro level as well, are there any teammates that you're excited to go up against in the CFL at the pro level?
I mean, all my teammates are, it's just fun to go against them. I mean, I don't, obviously we're buddies, and, I don't look forward to I know what they can do. So, I mean, I don't want to, meet them in the hole or anything like that, because I know what they can do, and we got the mutual respect, and we played so long together that it's might be hard to hit each other, but yeah. I mean, all the defensive guys like Grant McDonald and Charlie Moore, all those guys that we played so many years together, and we became like good buddies, and I mean, it'll be super fun, and really looking forward to that.
Love it.
That's awesome. Maybe we'll see if we get these guys on the podcast and see if their answers are the same, or if they're maybe call you out, and then we'll have you back on, and you can get a little back and forth.
Yeah.
Peter, obviously you've just been drafted, and you probably have a lot of aspirations, in the game of professional football that you still like to achieve. But for kids looking up to you right now, I mean, you've made it in their eyes. And so if you're to give advice to any kids in middle school or high school right now that have aspirations to play at the college level, like you did with the University of Calgary, or to even make it pro, like you just have, what's a couple pieces of advice you'd give to them, that they can have some tools in their belt to make that push as well?
I definitely just say, try your hardest, and, it's about effort, and, effort in the weight room, effort on the field, in the film room. I mean, effort's definitely the key thing to success, and, the harder you work, the better success you'll have. And I mean, I think that's the main key I would tell kids, is just, try your best. And, just, it's all about effort, about a heart, and, play with heart, and, just be super passionate, and, things will work out.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Awesome, Peter. Yeah. I wanted to shift gears just a little bit and keep it a little bit light now. Peter, I like to dabble in poker a little bit. Steve's got a wicked anime collection. It's next to none. You got to see it. I'm just kidding. But we've all got different hobbies, different interests. What's something that CFL fans can get to know Peter Nicastro? What's a hobby or interest that you like to dabble in a little bit?
I've been collecting sports memorabilia. That's kind of my hobby. Nothing super crazy, but I mean, I like to, get a couple things here and there, and I just enjoy, getting cool pieces.
That's awesome.
What's the coolest pieces?
Yeah,
I have a couple of these. I got a couple of these Ray Lewis helmets from the 2012 Super Bowl, and the first one he won. Yeah, just not game worn or anything like that, but just signed.
Still.
Super Bowl MVP. Signed, everything like that. So I'd say those are probably the coolest things. So
that's so sweet.
You got to give us some insider. You got to give us some insider info. Where are you finding this stuff, Peter? We'll get into some bidding wars.
Well, I go to the place. There's a place in BC in Kelowna called West Coast Authentics. We go there every summer because my parents have a place there. So we're in Kelowna a little bit in the summer, and always stop by there and see what they got. And they got some cool stuff. Not just Ray Lewis and football, but everything, every memorabilia they have it. So pretty cool store.
What about the Browns? I know you're going off about the Ravens right now, but you got a Browns fan in here, okay?
Yeah. I don't have nothing Browns though.
Oh.
No Browns stuff.
Zach has a
Maybe-
signed Johnny Manziel jersey, so that's his memorabilia collection.
Let's not talk about
That's all
it.
right, too.
Once they get relevant, they'll have memorabilia to actually sell.
Yeah,
so.
no kidding.
Excuse me. Look at us.
Yeah,
Hey, they had a good season. They're in the right
They
direction.
did.
You know?
you bet they're trending
then-
upwards.
And the Pats fan, the 7-9 Pats fans, like, oh yeah, what are
Sorry,
they?
Hey, it can't be the
six-time
best
Super Bowl
forever.
champion, Pats.
Yeah.
Oh, roll my eyes.
Peter, some of the questions, they might ask you interesting questions at the combine or teams trying to catch you off guard. But, if you really want to make it big in the CFL, I think a big question that a lot of teams don't ask is the one that we're about to ask here. And that's, do you put ketchup on your craft dinner?
No, I don't.
Oh,
that's
yes.
No.
I think that's so gross.
Yes, Peter.
No,
That
I
is
can't-
right,
I
man.
can't even watch someone do that. It's just,
Oh.
I can't.
Oh, no way.
Have you tried it, or are you just so repulsed at the idea of it that you won't try it?
I just can't even look at it. I've never tried it, but I just can't even.
Oh,
I
man.
couldn't do it.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
So Peter, you're a Toronto Argonaut. You don't put ketchup on your KD. You've stolen my heart, my friend. I am so happy, man. I am
Holy crap.
over the moon right now.
I'm
We
glad.
gotta send you once when you're in Toronto. We'll like skip the dishes, you some.
I don't
And
know.
we'll get you back on the pod for a live taste test since you've
Should I
never
taste
tried
it
it.
live rating? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys be happy with that one.
Would you have
All
anything
right.
you put on your? Sorry, do you have anything you put on your craft dinner that people maybe haven't tried before? Do you have any secret tricks, or do you not eat craft dinner?
I once in a while. I mean, it's I'm Italian, so we usually just eat the regular pasta. But Katie's good too. I mean, I don't put anything crazy on it, or anything like ketchup or anything like that. But just regular is good for me.
I'm half Italian, but I might have to my Italian card revoked now after my mom wasn't Italian. and
It's
She
good though.
found
You know
out.
what? It is good. It's a good little treat. So
Yeah.
don't believe it.
I love it. And we sometimes end on that one, or we'll ask this next question I'm going to ask, but this is a really important one to us here at the pod and to a lot of our listeners. Football means a lot to us. That's why we do this. Football obviously means a lot to you as well. What's the greatest lesson football has taught you up to this point? You have a lot more lessons coming now being in the pro game, but up to this point, what is that biggest lesson?
I mean, there's so many lessons that football brings. I mean, that's one of the great aspects of football is all the things it teaches you. But I think one of the most important things is discipline. I mean, even at a young age, I mean, you're just disciplined to practice hard, be on time, manage your school. I mean, there's so many things that it's taught me, and not just in football, but in life, it's taught me so many different things, and that's another thing I'm grateful for. So I mean, there's so many things I could name, but just being disciplined and just working hard.
Perfect.
I love that, man. Peter, that's that pretty much wraps up what we have to ask right now, but we really appreciate you coming on, and we're really fired up to see where you and this Argos team is going to go. We've had some episodes breaking down all the off-season acquisitions, and obviously drafting you in the first round further strengthens that team going forward. Where can people follow you on your journey? We reached out to you on Instagram. If you have some new fans from this episode, where can they find Peter Nicastro?
Yeah, I'm on Snapchat, Twitter, everything, pretty much every platform, every social media, Facebook, all the big ones. So, anytime fans want to reach out or anything like that, I think that's great. And, that sometimes fans don't realize that, they can reach out to us, and, most of the time the CFL guys will respond because, just that connected in the community. So I encourage fans to do that.
Absolutely, man. We'll link it all in the show notes for you there. So
Okay.
no one follows us when we put our stuff in the show notes, but hopefully they'll follow. We're not CFL
Way to
players. So,
sewer us.
yeah.
All right, Steve.
Yeah, well, you exposed my anime collection there, so no wonder I'm not getting any followers. So. Peter, man, thank you for joining us.
Oh,
and
thank you guys. Yeah, thank you guys so much. I appreciate what you guys do the game too, and just growing the game. I really like that. So yeah, thanks,
absolutely,
everybody.
man. Best of luck on the
Thanks,
rest of your
Peter.
journey, and we'll hope to have you back on soon.
For sure. See you guys. Thanks.
Godspeed.
See ya.